this is me, Yuri.
And this is Bruce, and this is our weekly broadcast talking about open topics, focusing on visa approved and green card. So if you're interested, if you're going through this process like we did, or we are going through with green card, talk to us. And we're also doing a reaction to this show called 90 Day Fiance that's on TLC. A lot of folks that follow us, they also watch it. There's a lot of fans of the show. So this is our opportunity to talk openly about this kind of stuff. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. All right, who we have on first of all? Let's see. I see Jason Jackson. He said, did I miss anything? Did I miss it? Nope. We just started. We've got Marianne, Reality TV. She says, she makes me smile. I think she's talking about the 90 Day Fiance. And then we've got Lavelle. Hey, how you doing, Lavelle? He said, what's up, Bruce and Yuri? I'd like to say I enjoy that video you did about Walmart very, very much. Thank you, and brought a wonderful smile to my face. And please put on more content like that. We'll try to do that in the future. Heath Davis says,
That took us how long, maybe?
hi, guys. Hey, Heath.
Say something bad about
So there's a Filipina on this show. And it's a Filipina who's...
Hello, Heath and Lavelle and who else is there? James Brown and Sis Mary Ann. Let us know when you're ready for an interview.
I don't want to. I know that. But I do it for Larry because I love him.
So Larry is an American guy, and he's hooking up with a Filipina. And this isn't going to go well. I've already seen the highlights of this. This is not going to go well.
Hi.
Hi Lee. Love you both. We love you back.
Who?
I will, sis. Marianne's talking about the interview.
Yeah.
Oh man, are you gonna bring that up on TV? Oh man. You're a great inspiration and aspiring couple, and I honestly respect you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I don't understand you, Carl. Why you don't give me a chance?
We have nothing against you. You seem like a nice girl.
Okay. Don't call me nice girl because you're saying bad things about me.
Uh-oh.
Don't come to the United States with an attitude like that.
Wow, I don't know why you would...
I feel completely caught in the middle between
Why would you put this on the show? I don't understand. For nothing. Like, it's a train wreck for no reason. You're still getting to know each other, and you're going to put yourself out there like that? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Lavelle
Do
said,
not do 90 Day Fiance.
I know who she is.
You are great.
Don't go on the show.
We're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
I already read that one.
Hold on. I think
Alex
my allergies kicking.
Alex Lavelle said. Alex Valdez says, "Good evening, guys. Had time in this weekend to watch the live feed. You guys probably my favorite show right now.
Don't know what they like. I don't think.
Thank you, Alex.
They don't know everything. Don't worry.
I don't know why
We're just gonna have to keep telling
Wow.
them we see
I don't know why. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's frustrating, guys. This show. I don't know why people would put themselves out there. Don't do it, guys. This show just exploits people's weaknesses of their relationship. And if you're just starting out on a relationship, of course there's problems. There's things you got to work out. You don't even know. These guys don't even know each other. And already they're getting sabotaged by his cousin, who used to be on the
Process
visa
as well.
approved. They used to be on the visa approved group with us, by the way. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Lee says I watch.
I didn't have time this week to watch the live. Okay.
Lee says
Thank you, Alex, for your support.
Lee on
And we're glad
Facebook
that-
says I watch I always watch you guys because I'm on my preparation for the K1 visa.
Thanks for
Big
being
help.
big help.
Well, Lee, if you have any questions, here's the time
This
to ask
is the
us.
time to ask us.
It's much harder for us to get to talk to people directly throughout the week because we have a full-time job, you know. So, but when we do these lives, this is for everyone so that we can answer. A lot of people ask the same questions over and over again, so that's why we do these videos to help a lot of people at once. And really, we're just facilitators. We're not helping anyone. We're not lawyers. We're not advisors. We're not authorized to give advice. But what we do is we facilitate a conversation with the whole community. So people are telling you, hey, this is what I did on my process. Here's what I did on my form. We got Robert from Periscope. How you doing, Robert? This is just a big conversation between YouTube crowd, the Facebook crowd, and now Periscope, hopefully. Oh, now so this is the guy that went to Haiti. And wow, I think that this one's gonna end.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't give up her ex-boyfriend. Sound is great. All right, awesome. Chris Doge. Is it Doge? Doge? Chris Doge. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Chris. Says, I'm trying to get my fiance a tourist visa. Just to come and meet my family before I go back to the Philippines to get married over there. So I just posted, if you're on the Visa Approved group, and looks like you are, you can go to something I just posted in Files. Go on the group and look into Files, and actually one of our friends, Lezima, she did this awesome write-up that I posted on the group because it's pretty comprehensive because she brought her mom to the U.S. to visit her to see their baby. And so you can follow that guideline. It's a B2 visa. Tourist visas, I think, is what you want. So I hope that helps, Chris. M. Endez Lily says, God bless you both for helping people who need help in the process. Well, it's really us. It's really the community that helps each other. You know, that's what this whole thing's about. It's not really about Yuri and I. It's about this whole group that's helping one another through this process. So, but you're welcome.
Thank you, Lily. We are happy to help people, and I hope if you are not in Visa Approved yet, join the group.
She's in the group. Everybody here is in the group, baby.
Oh, okay. I thought you were live in your account only. I think I have an allergy.
Hey, Arthur Carlson, how you doing? How are you doing, sir? Heath Davis says Gary did not do his homework. This is Gary right here.
I was doing that. And a lot say it will be denied because we are engaged.
It will be denied because we are engaged. I am going through Rapid Visa to get her B1 done. Who do we know who had that?
It depends. What if your fiance has traveled from the past? Then, if your fiance has a history of traveling abroad already, there's a high chance that she can get approved. Or if there's like what they look for is the connection with the Philippines, that she's gonna come back, to prove that she will come back to the Philippines after the tourist visa has expired.
Yeah, Chris, take a look at that write-up that I posted, that somebody from our group actually went through and got their mom into the U.S. on a tourist visa. And she shows the requirements, and she actually has a video where people are asking her questions about it. So check that out. And all I know about the tourist visa and the difference between tourist visa and K1 and the conflicts is that there may be an issue with the justification because they ask you specifically why you're coming to the U.S. And if I would just make sure that the justification doesn't conflict with the K1. I mean, if she's coming here, I would think that if she's coming here on a tourist visa, that you don't have to mention that you're getting married or anything like that, right? I mean, I wouldn't do them both at the same time. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, with a tourist visa, you can request for a letter from your family for her to come here and meet them in person. That way they know that it's a tourist visa. That you don't intend to get married with that visa.
Right. Justification is very important there. That's really what they're looking at, along with the requirements for the tourist visa as well. Lavelle Basher says the K1 visa is now in June month of processing papers. Oh, that's great. They've gone from May, now they're processing the June. Anybody who processed to submit it in June. Danny D says that you guys gave some good advice. My friend in the Philippines and I are getting closer. We did video chat with her family last night, and they really liked me. That's great, Danny. We always love to hear that. Just continue to build that foundation, especially with the family, because that's really important, that there's no misunderstandings. Veronica 2. Oh, Veronica 2's here. Hey, Veronica, how you doing? And she says, hey, guys, how you doing? Jack Froome.
Magandang gabi, Yuri and Bruce. Good evening to you, Jack.
Okay, 90 Day Fiance is back on.
Veronica Debs. Hey, Victoria's Secret couples in pink. You are funny, sis. Hi.
This isn't pink. This is rose, by the way. She's wearing pink.
Isn't this rose pink?
Nah, I don't know. I'm just joking. I have no idea. Let me see.
I was going to do the 90 day, but my fiance said she did not want her parents or our drama in TV land. Yep.
The more I watch the show, the more I see that it's really not good, especially if you're starting out with your relationship. It's just it's not good to put your stuff out there like that,
Yeah, I mean, the 90-day fiance, the 90-day period, I think is the most dramatic. Not the first. Well, at the first, when you meet your fiance, like, it's all great. It's mostly great time with the person. But if it's the 90 days that the foreign fiancés in the U.S., that person is going through adjustments, and it's like the emotion is fluctuating. It's like the environment, we're adjusting physically, and also the people are new. So there's a lot of adjustments going on. But if you put that on the show, it makes it look, horrible. It makes it look the foreign fiancé as a bad person.
Yeah, that's not good. Trayvon Zimmerman, how you doing, sir? And thank you for the $10 donation. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Trayvon.
Wow. Appreciate all your support.
We appreciate that.
Over the years. This guy supported us for years. So, man, thank you. Thank you so much.
Isn't he the one who
we got something to talk. Yes, we got something to talk to you about off of this broadcast, by the way. Anyway, let's continue. Veronica Dips said, I was talking to the other Veronica. It's a Veronica party up in here. All right, so we got another question on Facebook, and it says, hello, this is coming from Marino. It says, hello, have a nice day. Just want to ask that I have 2 kids with my ex-boyfriend before, and now I have an American fiance, and we are processing the K1 visa. Just want to know if it's okay that we don't put their names on the K1 papers.
So somebody mentioned that now they require that you have to put your kid's name.
They will ask about it too in the interview. So,
Yeah, and they'll ask you if you have kids.
right.
I think on the paper, right?
Yes. Yes. So I would, Marino. Now look again. This is our opinion. This is what we've seen in the past. So this is not legal advice, okay? But from what we have seen, what we've heard talking to some of the people in the group is that you have to put your kids' names on there if you have custody of the kid. Of course, if you have zero custody of the kids, basically they're not your kids, right? But if you have kids, you have to put their name on the documentation, and they will ask about it. Now, that's not to say that you have to bring them. That is your choice, because that's a K2. That's kind of a it's a parallel process, but you have to list them on the I-129F. Please don't take our word for it. Do extra research. Do some critical reading on your own, and double check what we're saying to you. But from what we have heard, you're supposed to put the names of the children that you have custody of on the form. That's not to say you have to do the K2, which means to bring them to the U.S., but you do have to list them on the documents. So.
Yeah. Didn't we see? Did we
Yeah.
check the new I-129?
I've been through it before. Yeah, I've been through the new one. It still asks if
and
you
he
have kids.
said, "Hey guys, say to everybody."
Hey
And he
Chris,
said he's about to watch the 90 Day Fiance.
You're
Wanted
late.
To say hello.
you're late.
Hi
Andy.
Andy and bye Andy. Enjoy the show.
Let's see. Jarno K from Finland. How you doing, Mr. Finland? Veronica 2 says, thanks. I'm going to try to sleep the day away until he calls me. He is leaving his phone home. Okay, I guess they're talking to somebody else. Let me see. Jack Froome says, let me see if I can get Jack Froome's. Oh, there's new messages. Okay.
Jack Froome, thanks for all the advice. Interview went good. We had a delay on the medical, but was completed on Friday. We are just waiting for the embassy to issue her visa now. Oh, good luck, Jack.
Yeah, good luck, Jack.
And
Got something here on
good luck in your marriage as well,
on Facebook. Let's see. It
which
says,
is soon.
Chris says, okay, will do. And maybe my visa, maybe my visa for going to the Philippines might help in the interview. Visa. You mean your passport, Chris?
No, because he's going to the Philippines in the future to
Yeah.
get married.
Yeah, you don't have to have a visa unless you're staying over 30 days, Chris. Just a FYI. But if you're over 30 days, you have to get a visa there. You will have a passport when you come into the port in Manila or wherever you're going into. They'll stamp your passport. So that might be what you mean. Moreno says, okay, will do.
Okay.
Thanks so much and God bless. Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome, sis. I cannot wait to move to Marikina City. It is getting cold here in Texas. Oh gosh, we'll be
Did
there
you read
over
this
a
one
year.
from Lavelle? Did you already read this one?
Lavelle said, is it a good idea to process the paperwork through Canada if I have relatives that are resigned there already? Paperwork through Canada if I have relatives that are resigned there.
What do you, Lavelle? Be more specific. Do you mean you have family in Canada that want to come to the U.S. or is it a good idea to process paperwork through Canada if I have relatives that are resigned there already? Do you mean, Lavelle? Do you mean that you're going to Canada or you have family coming from Canada? I'm not sure. I'm a little confused on that. Veronica says, hello, Yuri, in a big yellow dress. We were marching through Walmart. Oh, my God. Oh,
my
Here comes the
gosh.
jokes. Here comes the Walmart jokes.
Yeah, that actually happened for real. That's the very first place that my husband took me. So that was like Although it was funny, it happened in real life.
Yes, it all that.
And so
There's a lot of reality.
That
There's
I
a lot
was
of
like
reality
shocked about.
in that video. So that being said, we've gone to Las Vegas, we've gone to California, we've gone to Disney World, we've gone to Miami.
I'm just saying,
we've gone
baby, that was truly the first place that
Yeah.
except the airport.
We
Do you
needed
remember?
some stuff. We needed some stuff from Walmart.
And
We needed
Yeah,
great
so-
value eggs and
Many
baby
of the-
wipes.
many of my reaction that was written in that script were really.
Anyway,
The
back to
reaction.
the content here at hand. Let's stick to the subject here. This is on Visa approved. We don't want our admins to kick us out because we're talking about
Okay.
Walmart.
Yep. What do you guys think of the Nikki and Mark couple?
Nikki and Mark. Which one is that?
The-
Is that
No,
these guys?
that's the old couple. That's from the old 90 Day Fiance show. The
Oh, the
60
older-
years old guy.
the
and 90
40-year
years old.
gap, 30-year gap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of controversy. Every time that comes up, we get into some new conversation about the age gap and what happened between them and stuff. I think that the age gap, first of all, Yuri and I are 15 years apart, and we've done really well. As far as a larger age gap, I think it could totally work. We know people that it's totally working for them. Like your friend in Norway.
Yeah, they are only 25 years.
25 is huge here in
I know,
the
not
US.
25, 23. Something.
So yeah, that's a huge. But they love each other, so they're very good people. I've talked to them. I said, when you were used to talk to them online.
Yeah.
They're a very sweet couple. They love each other so much. They have kids together. They made it work. So in my personal opinion, it's not for me to judge the age gap. What matters is that you take care of each other.
I think also when the woman is already matured.
Exactly, because
When she got married,
Yeah.
she was already 26.
right.
When they
And she had kids too, right?
She
From
had
another
one kid.
relationship.
Yeah, and if the woman is matured, then there should not be a problem in the relationship. And if the guy, understands that a woman is still younger, way younger, then he or she can teach the younger partner.
Okay, Danny.
But based on that show, you can see the problem there.
Yeah.
Because he's learning, he's done with having kids.
Right, and she wants to have kids. She was
But
like
she's-
crying about that, right?
She's only 19, no kids. So at that age,
That's just. I think that there's a little bit of there needs to be a little bit more give between each of them. But Mark being 60 plus, like he needs to realize, his girlfriend is 19. Like she has an entire life to live. He should probably be a little bit more open about that. I mean, like I said, it's not for me to judge their relationship. It just seems like if you have a kid. I was gonna say a kid. If you have a fiance that young, like you should probably be a little bit more accommodating, because you have learned so much. Just my opinion. Danny D says, "What do I do in order to travel to the Philippines? I'm going to be there less than 30 days. You just fly. Just make sure you have a passport.
you don't need a visa.
Don't need a visa. Make sure your passport is up to date. It has to be." It can't expire within the next
6 months.
6 months, right? So make sure it's up to date, and that's it. You just fly over there. They'll stamp your passport when you get off the plane. There's nothing else.
Chris in Facebook said, I know this question isn't direct visa related, but when I move to the Philippines, I'm bringing my service dog. Any idea how to get the paperwork? Oh no.
Man, I have no idea, Chris. I'm sorry. There might be anybody here in the comment section know what Chris needs to do to get that. And I really have no idea, like, what is your first step for your service dog. And also, I don't know if you would be able to take a service dog, like are they as
the
accommodating
Philippines?
in the Philippines, like in restaurants or in stores and stuff?
No, I'm not sure.
For service
about
dogs? That would be another question I would ask Chris. Like, can you take your
Yeah.
service dog into certain areas? That would be the next question after the easy question, what would seem like an easy question of getting your service dog on the plane to fly there. Okay, let's keep going here. Lavelle Basher says, my fiance is coming to Canada to be closer to me. Okay, Lavelle, you're in the United States, right? So you're in North Dakota or something, and now your fiance is going to be in Canada so you guys can be closer. Is that what you mean? And he goes on to say, you remember to come up with different solutions to get your fiance to America. Yep. Yeah, so this is something I would do probably. This is another way of trying to get her here through Canada. Yeah, so that's a smart move. I was actually thinking about, my alternative was either Canada or Mexico. Yeah, so
Yeah, but you get approved with fiance visa. You do get approved.
right. So Lavelle, is there any reason, I don't know if you want to talk about it on this chat, but is there any reason why you wouldn't just go straight to K1? And we might have talked about this on a previous one. I'm just curious because I would think that would be a straight shot, K1, and then she just comes here. But let me backtrack on your question about Canada. You said,
is it a good idea to process paperwork through Canada if I have relatives that are resigned there already?
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying if there's whatever reason that you couldn't get your fiance here to the U.S., let's say that she's from Sudan or something. There's a reason why she can't come to the U.S. on a K1, right? And you're saying, what's the alternatives? You're saying, would this be a good alternative? Now we're in opinion and speculation land. That's one of the things I was actually considering. I was thinking to myself, there's no way I'm going to let a government separate me and my family, right? And I'm very close to Yuri, and I want her to be my family. So I was thinking, what can I do that's legal to get her closer? So I was actually considering other countries that are close to the U.S. so I could commute back and forth, or even work in that country, or whatever, somewhere close so I could be in the U.S. or whatever. Canada was one of my alternatives. That was one of the things I was thinking about. So just speculation. That was one of the things I was considering. Never had to go through it, thank goodness. Chris also says, I'm 50. My fiance is 29, and we both want to have a child together. Age is only a number if two people are in actual love and care for each other. Chris, honestly, I know it's kind of cliche to say it, but you're right. Like if two people are trying to work things out, it doesn't matter what nation you're from, what color, your religion, age. Like you are two consenting adults, and you guys can make it work. If you guys can make it work, if you guys can work for each other, then honestly, we've seen every walk of life go through this process. We've seen every walk of life have a relationship together and make it work, and some that didn't. But it's all comes down to work. Are you willing to work for her, and she willing to work for you? And it goes the same thing for same sex relationships. Some people don't want to hear this, but if two people love each other, even the gender is not a factor. I'm just stating facts. We've seen couples who are same sex make it, and they're here and happy together, and so we really admire that. Okay, what else we have here? Lavelle says, okay, we already talked about that one. Veronica
Yuri,
says,
you're just like she was going to the soap opera in Walmart. Oh my gosh, that was so
cute
funny.
And how
I'm gonna
goofy
email you later, sis. I got other things to tell
It
you.
makes the marriage more alive and fun. Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, that's what
That was so
the video.
funny to me.
We were laughing, like every time we do something, we were just laughing, going through the process.
It was
cool.
hard to keep the song because it was stuck in my head for that entire time. And I always sing, right? Remember, baby? But when we do live, I have to remember, not to.
Oh, the real song is what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the real
the
song.
lines are.
Yeah, Little Town
Are
and
stuck
Beauty and the
in
Beast. Okay,
my
okay.
mind.
Danny D says, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
You're
Danny.
welcome, Danny.
Thank you for the question. Carno K says, if my girlfriend...
If girl is in Philippines, age no matter, but if...
Oops, I cut off his message. Or did I?
No.
Oh, okay.
that's
He says
cut off.
age doesn't matter. I think some other countries are like that too. I think Thailand is like that, a little bit more liberal with the age gap. In U.S. is not as open about age. I mean, it's probably even more restrictive here on age than race, to be honest with you. Seriously.
Yeah.
People are very
What are
critical
the
here.
income requirements for fiance visa? You mean?
So the the income requirement is you have to be above the poverty line to apply. So if you want to know about the poverty line, let me actually look it up for you real quick. While you answer another
Yeah.
question, I'll look it
I'll
up, and
look
I'll
it
put
up
the
in
link here, Paul, for you.
Izel, hi Bruce and Yuri. This is a
Okay.
comment in Facebook.
Oh, go ahead. Did I just cut that off? Go ahead.
Thanks for what you said and did for Vivian memory. Okay, go ahead. You're welcome, Izel. We were both very sad about it because of our interview we had with them earlier this year, about January, and that was
It was
like
hard
we seen how Vivian was very happy, was genuinely happy of being here in the U.S., finding love, being with a person she loves, and it was cut so short, you know. She just started, and I can tell that she did not have a, she had a, I mean, being in the Philippines, if you're not rich, I mean, you're not gonna have a very good time there. You're gonna have a rough time. I mean, you can
still be happy,
You
but
can still be
it's gonna
happy,
be
but-
challenging.
I think
Right,
that's what
so-
happened to her, is that she did not have any kind of checkup or took care of herself through supplements that much from the past when she was younger, or went to the doctor for checkup. That's why it wasn't diagnosed early, and then later on in life she found out about it, and then it was already in a worst case condition.
So she just to give you guys some background, some context on what we're talking about is there are some YouTubers called Ken and Vivian, and they do postcards from Cebu, and they also walk people through and help lots of people out with the CR1 process because they went through it. So they would put in from, that's how we knew them, because they also were talking about kind of the same subject, and had the same kind of positive outlook. You know, like some of the expat
They have
videos are a little negative, but what attracted us to Ken and Vivian, that were so positive. And even though Vivian is going through this hard time with late cancer, she was so happy, you know, and that was what the thing that got to us. That's why it hit us so hard.
And
you know?
they have a very good chemistry.
They're
when
such
we've
good.
seen them live on Skype, like, you can really see it.
Right. So yeah, if you guys know about Ken and Vivian, you know about their, just stop by postcards from Cebu and just give condolences to Ken.
Yeah.
He's a good man. You know, he's such a good guy, and it's just hard to see bad things happen to good people.
Postcards from Cebu, that's their
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Paul S.
I'll put the
I'm
link
thinking
in.
of just relocating to the Philippines rather than going through the K1. You can. It depends on your situation. Like, if you can afford to be there, then yeah, why not? But the good thing of being a K1 though is if you go through it and your fiance, which becomes your wife, will get her citizenship. The good thing about that is that later on, if you both live in the Philippines and there's emergencies where you have to go to the Philippines, then you can go together with your wife, because it's so hard to bring a person with a Philippine passport to the U.S. without going all through tons of background check and requesting for tourist visa, whereas if the person have a U.S. passport, it's way easier to travel.
That's our goal, because we
Veronica
love to
Dips.
travel. Okay, where are we at, baby?
Veronica
Which
Dips.
one?
You already get the citizenship after 3 years or 4 years. I think it's about 3 years because
It's 3 years of us being married. 3 years of married or 5 years. Like let's say God forbid, Yuri and I got a divorce, or if you got a divorce, whatever the case is, right? You got a divorce, but you already have your green card. So then you have to have been in the United States legally for 5 years. So it's either 5 years by yourself with the green card or 3 years of being married. And I can't remember who told me that, but I've already confirmed it. But you guys can double check my information. You know, don't take my word for it. Go check it out yourself. That's what we've read. So let me see what other questions do we have here. What else do we have? So when are you gonna actually apply for the citizenship?
Once my green card arrives, which is I think this year.
When do we hit our 3-year mark? That's November, right?
3-year mark is it's already 3 years since we got married.
Oh yeah. It's
Oh
been 3
wait,
years.
November to be exact. It's November.
Yeah. Very soon.
So yeah, soon. Because
Paul.
that's what the immigration officer told me, that once they issue the 10-year green card, I can go ahead and apply for the U.S. citizenship. Because I think what they want to see for people who are not fluent in English, they want to make sure that they can communicate. So they have like this program that people can use to I think I forgot how it's called, but it's an English ESL. What's the name that baby? Was it ESL?
For ESL.
There's like other steps that an immigrant have to do if they're not fluent in English.
Oh yeah. There's like an English.
It's like an English learning program.
Yeah.
Before they acquire the U.S. citizenship.
Okay, guys, bear with me. I'm
But
posting.
for you, sis,
income
I'm
requirements
sure
for
you
income.
should be good. But after 3 years of marriage, you should be able to apply for your U.S. citizenship after receiving the 10-year green card. But make sure you apply first for your 10-year green card. That way you have an ID while you're waiting for your U.S. Citizenship.
Right. Where are we? I'm so lost with this host and stuff.
About
Okay. Right.
there. Oh, no.
Up. Are we on Heath?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or that's where we are.
Heath Davis says,
I'm thinking, age is not important. It's maturity is what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Arthur Carlson, I love the wig, Bruce.
I should wear
Age
those
gap.
all the time.
Age gap in Philippines, but after a girl has already moved to the USA, she only would take round on age man, not some 30 years older.
Yeah, here
Happens definitely.
here the age gap is probably 10 is a pretty big gap here. Unless you're much older, like older people can get away with it, but younger, not in the 20s. 20-year-olds pretty much stick with 20-year-olds. It's very rare they go outside of that unless the guy's like super rich or something.
Yeah, but the
that's just the
marriages
truth.
that I seen here, you notice they have age gap too.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
Like
it
20
happens.
years, but
Yeah.
they stayed with their man, you know.
Yeah.
It depends on the quality of the person you're marrying,
Absolutely.
you know. Like where did you find your wife, you know? It matters the places
Mm-hmm.
where you found your wife. What's their upbringing? Like
Right.
how
What's
are
your
they?
connection? Did you have a good
What-
foundation
yeah.
together? You know, it can work in your favor. The age gap can actually work in your favor on every level. Lavelle Basher says, "I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. If our K1 visa doesn't make it through fast enough, I'm thinking of going through Canada for her to be closer to me." Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Canadian process. That was one of the things I did think about though. So yeah, don't stop at nothing. Stop at nothing by any means necessary. Live the life you want to live. Life's way too short to to settle for less. You know what I mean? So, and I say that, truth, just speaking truth from my heart. Like, it's way too short to try to accommodate other people, including other governments. So. Veronica Dip says, "Ooh, Bruce, you're so sweet. You would
do all for Yuri, willing to relocate." When did you say that?
Remember, there were some times when we were going through we were
to be in your life. When
Yuri better hold on tight to Bruce, his wonderful guy.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So yeah, there was a time, Veronica and everybody, when we were like, man, what's gonna happen? We were so nervous, but we had this bond, this amazing bond, and I was willing to do whatever it took to get Yuri here to be with me, like wherever I was. And I mean, I could probably tell you some stories about that. I mean, that's a whole. I don't even want to go down that path. There's some crazy stuff happening.
We got so much drama, guys. We're gonna start our vlogging tomorrow for a week.
Yeah.
With the Learn Filipino episode 2, it's gonna be postponed. We're gonna release it on probably Saturday, baby.
We should probably do it next week. We should probably push it to
next week. Because we're making it like more exciting.
Okay, back to the
better
subject
video
at hand. Let's see. Paul S says, okay, that would be awesome. Yeah, okay, I already posted it for you, Paul. That's the poverty guideline there. Let me see. What else we have here? Lavelle Basher says she's from the Philippines. Yep. Jim C says, Bruce, I have an off-topic question regarding cryptocurrency. Are you still invested in cryptocurrency? Yes, but we'll say that for another time. We could talk a lot about it. Actually, hit me up.
Yes,
Jim, hit me up on Facebook, and we could talk about it. I talk to people about it here and there. Not that I'm some expert. I just tell what I do. Jack Froome says, my wife said most of the denials at the embassy were because of affidavit of support. So that's the I-134.
The I-134?
Wow. They didn't fill it out. They probably didn't have their taxes and stuff with it. Because you got to fill out the I-134, and then you have to provide evidence that you make a certain amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the biggest denial that we see? It's probably people. It's definitely people not supplying enough evidence for the package. And for a while it was divorce. Like, people would get a divorce and they don't put all of the divorce decrees in there. That was a big one for a while.
Yeah. I can see that happening to get denied because they didn't complete what they need to do.
Yeah.
I-134 instruction, you can read it.
That's the affidavit of support.
Search it in Google.
Right.
I-134 instructions. It will tell you what you need to bring along with the form. And you have to bring Form 1040, pay stubs, bank statement. If you don't have pay stubs and your check goes through directly to the bank.
Right. And we also added verification of employment. We got a letterhead from my employer, and it said this verifies that Bruce started work at this time, and here's his title. And then we sent that with her as well, and it also had how much I make, that kind of stuff, so that they know. It was an extra step, but really the Manila embassy also sent her an instruction on everything what we're supposed to send. So let me see. Jim C says, Bruce, are you aware cryptocurrency will be bigger than IT? Yep,
Paul S said, so I can be in the Philippines while going through the K1 process? I think you can be.
For the first part of it, Paul, we there was somebody else who had something similar to this. What country were they in? Do you remember that?
A different country, but you need an address in the United States for them to send the mail.
Yes, it's called, you need a place of domicile within the United States. You need a domicile within the United States. A physical address. Like, let's say your mom has a physical address in Nebraska. You want to use that address on the I-129F form. But it's going to come a time when you guys have to process the rest. There's going to come a time when you have to be in the U.S. Because the whole purpose of the K1 visas to bring your fiance to the United States. If you guys have no intention of going to the United States for like years and years, don't do the K1. Just get married in that country, and do a I don't know, CR1 or something.
You can also do a CR1.
Yeah, it might be better for you. But if you're trying to process the K1 and you're living in the Philippines, the answer is yes, you can, but you're going to have a physical address in the United States. So what a lot of people do is they use their relative's address, and then that way they're sending the paperwork to the relative's address, and then the relative can send the documents to them in the Philippines or wherever they are. So definitely double check that, Paul. Don't take my word for it. Jim C says, okay, I already read that one. Arthur Carlson says, Yolanda and I are 15 years apart. Oh, just like us.
Oh, just like us then.
Paul S says, thank you for the link. You're welcome. Let's see what's on Facebook. Let me see. Where's this? Chris says, my ex-wife was here under a student visa. That's a F1, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
no, it's a different.
And it was a pain in the butt converting her visa. Very expensive, and she was from Korea. So my fiance and I decided to do a CR1. Would be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's better.
The CR1 is definitely a good one, because it goes straight to green card too, right?
Yeah.
So when your spouse gets to the U.S., now it takes longer. It takes like 8 months on average, but once your spouse gets to the U.S., then they get issued a green card. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris.
Daphne, does it need to be put a real name of the person and picture together with me and my fiance?
A real name? What do you mean? Everything there should have a real name.
Well, if they're not part of the fiance visa and it's just a photo, you don't need to put the name. You mean as a submitting for evidence of meeting in person?
Do you mean... Well, Daphne, let me tell you what we did. So Yuri and I had pictures from Hong Kong, from Thailand, all the places we traveled, right? It's us together, like this, all over the place. And so when I submitted the documents, I always had I would write at the bottom of the picture where we were and what date.
Yeah.
So to give them a reference. I didn't necessarily have my name there or anything. But my name is in the package, so I figured, why would I put the name on the picture? But that's just me, just telling you what I did. And of course, anywhere in the package had our real names.
Stephen A. Smith. Speak, Bruce.
Chris says, I was under the understanding that a invitation letter and affidavit support was not needed. Invitation letter. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
For the tourist visa, you mean?
Yeah.
That's what people do.
Oh, for tourist visa. Okay.
For tourist visa is to back it up with an invitation letter from the family or a friend or anybody who's requesting to have them in the USA.
Yeah, check out Chris. I'm not sure if you're the one I was telling this, but I recently posted something from Lesima. She did this great write-up. I just happened to be going through post on Visa Approved, and I saw this awesome post by her where she's talking about the tourist process. And I just uploaded that to Files. So if you're in Visa Approved, go to Files, and it should be like one of the top things on there. And it'll walk you through how to do the
tourist visa.
Tourist visa, yeah. So, and I don't know if that'll conflict with your CR1 or what, but...
Well, I think the best thing, to cut the money is to just wait for the CR1.
Yeah, if you're not concerned with being together immediately, then CR1 is probably best.
Meet your family afterwards or something.
Because
I'm sure by now, your relationship has been very serious already to decide to get married. So, to meet the parents is just a finalization. So, but yeah, you can try.
Veronica says, that's a real man right there, willing to do whatever it takes to bring your wife. I was willing to do anything it took, like anything it took to be together. So all options were on the table. Lavelle said, "Hey Bruce, that's my fiance because that's what's my fiance because my wife would
like you to do an interview with us for our K1 visa process and others.
Yeah, just keep in
that's
contact with us.
awesome,
Yeah.
Lavelle.
Yeah, keep in contact with me on Facebook.
Thank
Messenger.
you in advance, and we look forward to that interview.
Yep. Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, you can reach both Yuri and I. We go through by this Facebook account, Bruce Brown.
Veronica Dips, Yuri Bruce. I see so many people on visa journey who have come here through K1 visa break up a lot. Mostly.
Oops, sorry.
Mostly because of us husband change.
Changes why? Why is that?
Why
is
is
it?
that?
It's so fun. Isn't that funny? I mean, it's not
Why
funny.
go
It's
through
serious.
all the process then
But
change.
it's funny because people keeps trying to sweat the fiance, the foreign fiance, saying you just want to get your green card, you just want to come here, you just want. But what's funny is sometimes it's a lot of times it's the American guy that changes his mind when the she's there and she's not doing anything crazy, but the guy's like, nah, you know what? Let's get a divorce, and it's like what? So it's. I mean, we know a lot of cases like that. I think
it's not about the husband changing, but that's the real personality. That's why you have to date for a long time to see side by side for what's the character of the person you're marrying.
Look how mature she is. She started off like this even when we first
That's
got
why
together.
I flipped my husband back to back for 2 years.
23 years old, she was talking like this. That's why I married her.
Because
super mature.
I just thought, because my parents had a grand wedding, but their marriage did not go well. They stayed together for a long time, but they did not date. And that happens a lot through marriages, is that, oh, you rush, you're in love today. You want to get married as soon as possible, but then you haven't even seen the bad and the worst of the person.
I always hate hearing the bad news of that. We know of a lot of cases where the fiance, the couple has this grand wedding and they go to all these exotic locations, they do all these awesome things, and then within a year they're already like on the rocks, like they're already talking about divorce, they're having issues. They tell us this stuff. I'm not mentioning names, not putting anybody's business out there in the street. I'm just telling you guys, like, what is important? What can we get from this? What can we learn from this? Is that you have to have a foundation first before you go too far. You need to have a strong foundation for your relationship so that by the time you're here, you guys are both 1,000% sure it's going to work, because you're going to both do whatever it takes to make it work for one another. I'm not saying just the man is putting all the work in, or just the woman, or just your partner's putting. It takes two to make it work. So if you have that attitude, then you can make it work, period. Paul S. says, okay, is it easier to get married in the Phils because that is what we planned? I think it's cheaper to have like a nice wedding there, right?
Yes, it is much cheaper. You can
much
spend
cheaper,
maybe $5,000 for a grand wedding.
Mm-hmm. Invite the family, have lechon, have a big ass lechon pig there. Just like you could do some crazy stuff there.
Road listening to you. Stephen A. Smith said, on the road listening to you guys.
Shout out to Stephen A. Smith.
Jacqueline.
Stay safe out there.
Hi, Stephen.
Dan the driving man says, Yuri and Bruce, you are in the groove. Speaking of investment, invest time. Yes, invest time in your relationship. I agree with that, Dan. Yuri, drink coffee. Ha.
Yeah, because I was like, I just.
Are you
woke
staring
up
out into
earlier.
space? Dan says, if I marry first in the Philippines, is it harder? Is it
Faster.
faster or slower than to get married than here in the U.S. in America? What should I have her do first before I marry her?
What should I have her do there first before I marry her?
Is it faster? Let's work on the first question first. Is it faster in the Philippines? You mean the whole I'm assuming you're talking about the visa process. And Dan, we can't tell you definitively how fast the process is gonna be. I'm just gonna be completely honest. For us, it took 4 months to do the K1 process, and that's us getting married in the U.S. Okay, the usual amount of time is from 4 to 6 months. However, lately K1 process been taking like 8 months, right? Because something's going on with the process right now, where there's this huge influx of people that have been doing it. So honestly, I can't tell you what time. We just talked to another couple who went through it kind of the same time frame we did, and theirs only took 3 months. I'm hoping that the K1 visa process gets back on track, and if it does, it'll be faster than the CR1 process. So to answer your question, every case is different, so we can't tell you which one's faster or slower. Getting married in America through the K1 visa process, your fiance flies to the U.S. and you guys get married within 90 days, or get married in your foreign fiance's home of origin, where you do a CR1 or a K3 spousal visa, because every case is different. Especially right now, there's some crazy fluctuations going. In the past, K1 hands down was the fastest way to go. Now it's kind
of like equal. You're right.
Yeah.
For the CR1, so if your plan is to, you can now choose if you want to get married in the Philippines and have a nice wedding, then go for it.
His next part of the question is, what should I have her do before I marry her? So if you're saying if you were to marry in
the Philippines, you need a birth certificate. For her, she needs a birth certificate, and she needs a certificate of no marriage.
Right. So as you Dan, answer your question. So as you guys go through the process, she's gonna have to get everything she needs, because they're gonna give you an itemized list of everything she has to do to get married there and go through the process.
Jacqueline, hi, good evening. Beautiful couple watching from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. God bless.
Hey,
hi
how you
sis, good evening. JC Smith, is it important to apply for ROM? Excuse me. Do you plan to declare your marriage in the United States? And if your passport expires and you don't have a U.S. passport yet, then I would say it's important, because you will need the Philippine passport here in the U.S. and you have to process that here to renew your passport. And so what are you going to say if you don't report your marriage? And why are you here? How did you get here, you know?
Because while Yuri has been here, she's going to have to renew her Philippines passport, yeah. Right? So she needs her passport to go outside of the country, to go back home to the Philippines to visit, to, you know. So it comes up, like if we want to go on a cruise, she's going to need her passport. So yeah, she has to do the report of marriage in order to renew her passport. So I would say yes, it is important to do it. Mr. Freeze the Iceman says, hey, Yuri and Bruce. Hey, Mr. Freeze the Iceman. We always see you, man. So how you doing? Mark Whitmore says, we are...
Chris
Wait, which one are you reading?
Chris said, oh my God, now my fiance is also watching. Ha ha ha.
The 90-day fiance?
Oh, the 90-day fiance, you mean?
Mark Whitmore says, we are 79 days out since we sent the I-129F,
It's the waiting that kills you. I am lucky enough to be able to travel to see her in Ukraine every 3 or 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's very hard to wait.
That's the hardest part, is the waiting
And
for
it's like,
for them to approve you or what's going on.
It takes months for them to.
Especially lately, it's been taking a lot longer, Mark, just to let you know. So you're not alone in that.
James Brown, after doing the medical examination twice, my wife and I have finally finished everything. Now we are just waiting for her visa to be issued. Staying very positive. That's great.
Great, James.
You really need
Congrats.
that while
Congrats.
you're doing this.
That's a win. Sounds like a win to me. All right, next one is Stephen Lena Smith says, Hi guys. Bruce, I feel the same way. I will do anything to be with Lena. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dan says, my fiance is 24 and very mature. Has not
dated a man over 5 years. I haven't dated in 9+ years. We have everything in common. It's sure real. Family values. Yep.
That's great.
Yeah. That really helps.
Yes. Veronica Dip says,
it's the American man changing, yet the woman is left clueless on what to do because she has none to depend on. And sometimes the American man or woman takes advantage of that.
Immature American
a lot of times
men and American women take advantage of that, and
you have to talk to your partner.
You have to, but the thing is, you have to win in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like if you choose somebody who's bad or fake, you're just gonna suffer. I mean, you can try to communicate with them. If they're not willing to work it out, and if they're not real, then it's just, no matter how, the more you work for it, it's like you're treading water, you know? So you got to win in the beginning of the relationship. Because otherwise, like, the person that you're marrying was immature to begin with and was not willing to work. Even if they're immature, if they're willing to work hard to make it work, they're willing to do whatever it takes to make it work and sacrifice with you and get in the trenches and go to war with you as a team, you guys can make it. You know, but if they weren't with that from the beginning, and if they were selfish, and this is not just the American counterpart, it's also the foreign fiance. Like if they weren't willing to work it out in the beginning, then how in the hell is it gonna work? You know?
You really have to talk to your wife and address your
beginning,
or your spouse
right from the start,
your husband, and talk about your concerns.
And be honest.
Coming here in the U.S.
And before
that, getting married, you have to tell your what your concerns.
Yes. Paul S says, good question.
Good question for marriage in Philippines. I have been wondering the same. And for when you get married in the Philippines, they have some kind of seminar that takes like a day.
CFO?
No. For couples, for 2 people who want to get married, there's like some kind of seminar that happens, I think. I don't know if it's just in Cebu, but I think it's throughout the Philippines, where you sit in front of a counselor who will discuss, the marriage, working, like, it's like about the marriage before you finally go to your marriage.
Stephen Lennon Smith says, the California Service Center got 117,000 applications between May 1st and August 14th this year. Wow.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
If I don't currently have a regular full-time job, but have received large inheritance, will this be considered instead of a regular job? Yes. That's considered as your income.
And Dan, they just want to know that you are able to take care of the foreign fiance, so that the foreign fiance doesn't get to the U.S. and then suddenly they're on welfare, or suddenly the state or the local government has to take care of this person. That's what they're trying to avoid. So all you're doing is, it's not about having a job. We knew somebody who didn't have a job, who owned a bunch of properties, like a lot of properties. And so what they did was they just brought in proof. They sent in to their fiance proof, along with the I-134 affidavit of support. evidence that they do have enough money and make enough money to take care of this person. So, and I think owning a house is another big factor in that, because they seem to look very positively at that. Owning rather than renting is a positive factor. Veronica Dip says,
you guys should do a video giving tips on how foreign immigrant can prepare themselves before moving in together, and don't to watch out
and what to watch out for.
What to watch out for before they come here, and U.S. husbands or wife changes on them. I think we kind of did a video.
Yeah, we've done a couple of those.
We did a video on it before, but now,
we could renew that.
But this one is more specific, you know.
Anthony Taylor. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Bruce and Yuri, love you guys. Love you back.
Ouch.
How did you both balance your perception of cultural differences, specifically as it relates to Western women trying to influence Yuri for the sake of her values? Man, I love questions like this. I love the cultural questions. But we are not talking about culture right now. I'll just quickly answer it. We just talk a lot, Anthony. We're very honest and open with one another. I'll talk about it more on the vlog that we're going to release tomorrow. I think tomorrow. But I am concerned about it. But we talk so much that she puts my heart at ease. You know, she tells me everything they say, so I'm not worried. Communication, we just keep beating that dead horse. Like, communication is so important, but man, it's so important. Heath Davis says, Bruce, I have been with my fiance almost 3 years and have talked to her family, and now it's time to see her for the first time in February. I ordered the pig.
But her tata gave and her mama. Oh, that is so
Heath,
nice.
you're not messing around. You went with the nuclear option, brother. He's about to go in.
Yay!
You're going in
like
blazing. That. Oh man, you're not messing around. Heath
that
Davis
means
says
you got
for
the
their
parents.
Approval. You win, brother. You win. Dan says selfish
Anthony,
people are always losers. Good people attract good people. Yes, I agree.
And good success. Good people attract good people. You're
I agree
right.
with that,
Then yeah.
This one you're gonna read? I already read it, but you can read it again.
The cultural differences, as my husband said, we always talk. And as for influence, I've always
she has her own mind. So
I used to be, when I was younger, when I was 18, 19, influenced by wrong friends. But then after that, I started learning that it's really good to choose your friends, because if you don't have friends that are that think rationally, then they can influence you in the wrong way. But also, because of my experiences from bad friends and all of that, and I just realized, at the end of the day, I had to ask myself, what do I want? Like, why did I marry this guy right here? That was another thing that I have to keep asking myself. I keep asking myself before, that even if whatever people say, it doesn't really influence me, because I had a very solid decision of, before we got married, why I chose this person, So.
Yeah. Dan, oh, you read that one. Facebook. I just answered a question here. JC Smith says, what is the minimum money that you can make to do the K1 visa? JC Smith, I just put the link of the poverty guidelines. What you want to look at is your state. That's the most current one for 2017. They update it every year, okay? But you want to look at your state, whatever state you live in, because each one is different. And you want to look at, they have a difference between military personnel and civilians. Look at the well, it depends. If you're in the military, look at the military side. But that guideline should tell you. And then it also has, pay attention to the it's called household size. It depends on how many people, what state you're in, and how many people are in your household will determine how much money that you have to have in order to go through this process. Minimum, unless you're talking about how much does it actually cost, what is the minimum money you can make? No, okay, you're talking about income levels. So yeah, check out the poverty guideline. He says for their approval. All right, let's get some more questions here.
Do you think you skipped the entire?
Yeah, it's
block?
going pretty fast.
Okay.
Where is it? Right there should be good, right?
Okay. Davis, congratulations. You went about all the things every nice and mature.
Yes.
Good man.
Yep, that's what
You're
they do.
a good man, yeah.
Paula says, so
we'd be required to go to pre-marriage class in Philippines? Yeah. Chris, what's her name? Doge. Yes, it's an 8-hour seminar, very common in Catholic religion. Yes, there's the answer.
That is crazy.
You have to have a seminar, which I think helps too, to finalize and Dan says, my rules for marriage: love God, love family,
values, love each other unconditionally, live and see each other happy and content, forgive each other and don't live in the past, make amends, make each. Yes,
don't
I
go to bed mad.
Don't go to bed mad. Okay, that's what you said.
Yeah,
I agree with that. That's a good rules for marriage. Broly Khan, how you doing, Broly Khan? What's up, guys? Hope you two are doing well.
We're
good.
doing great, Broly Khan.
We're doing good.
How about you? We hope your weekend is is also great.
Paul S says,
sorry, I'm typing on my phone. Not the easiest thing.
I think a lot of people are. That's why sometimes we struggle with the words.
Veronica, Bruce, did you ask Yuri's family hand in marriage?
Nope. Next question.
And how did you propose? Well, it did not happen like that because my family has so much drama, but that's what I wanted to happen. Mine is just embarrassing. When we got serious and we knew we were gonna get married, I told my father, "Hey Dad, I think I'm serious. I'm gonna have you meet my future husband, because I think we're gonna be getting married soon, and I have to leave." And my dad was I just did not get a good response from my dad. It was all about money, and my dad was like, "Oh, tell Bruce, buy me a van." So this is embarrassing, but that's what happened. That's why my husband didn't. And as you know, you remember the video about my sister hooked up with my ex. That was another thing that broke my trust. So that's why my husband was not able to meet my family. But hopefully, once everything's good, I hope that Purple Shadow can meet my husband in the future when we can afford it, to go together back in the Philippines.
I met her brother by accident.
Yeah.
I met her brother. That was about it. I really wanted to meet her family, but I entrust my wife's judgment. So, Chris says, Bruce, talk about red flags and how to work on them. Chris, red flags for a relationship, like being married, or red flags for like your girlfriend? Like, what level are we talking about here? Let me see if I can find some more K1 visa questions before we get out of here. Thank you both. Anthony Taylor says, thank you both for answering my question. I appreciate your thoughts and wisdom. I will keep tuning in. Thank you.
You're welcome, Anthony.
Always love to see your questions. Jack Froome says, check the city website for marriage requirements. I was married in Paraguay.
Paranaque.
Oh, okay.
And their city website had all the forms and requirements online.
That's great. Thank you.
That's
Thanks
very
for posting
organized then.
Yeah.
Dan the driving man.
Well
Veronica. Well said. Well said. You spoke like 10 people. Yeah, like all the knowledge of 10 people into one.
Veronica. Brolycon
Yeah,
says,
I agree.
I
have a question.
Are most Filipinos women Filipino women Christian or Catholic? I thought that was the same.
I asked because religion is a major factor in relationships. Yes, most people in the Philippines are Catholics, or have been raised Catholics. You know, even I was raised as a Catholic.
Yeah, very true. Dan says, you two are
You're great. You too. You give us all the world hope. Live for your dreams. People like us can make the world a better place. Best wishes in all you do in the future. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that.
Same for you too. We have best wishes for your marriage. Good luck to you, and for your career and your TV show.
Chris, I think this is gonna be one of our last questions. Like Chris asks, I meant K1 red flags. Like in your package, red flags that once the workers, not having enough evidence of your relationship, not having enough proof, having like a thin package with not enough proof that you guys have a legitimate relationship is kind of a red flag for the government officials who are going to be reading through your document. That's a red flag from that perspective. Another red flag is not really knowing each other well. And here's the thing, Chris, like when your fiance goes before the consular officer, they're gonna really ask like relationship type questions, and your fiance really needs to know who you are. Like if you have kids, they should know the names of the kids. At the very least, they should know if the kids are, what's the situation? Are the kids going to stay with you, or are they going to be with the ex? Like they should know that kind of stuff. They should know like how many divorces you've had, and you should know about them. You should know their kid's name, what's their birthdays, their mom's name. You should know those. If you don't know those things, that's kind of a red flag, and that's kind of what the consular officers are looking for. They're looking for the red flags in your package. So, you want to add anything to that?
That's it. I think just make sure your package are thoroughly, filed.
Yes.
And when she goes to her interview, make sure that she has more than what they need, and will potentially ask from her. That way, there is no way that you would get denied if she has everything, all the requirements.
Yes.
Brolycon. Thanks. I'm avoiding the cam girls on dating sites. Lol. Good night. Great for you, Brolycon. Yes. Cam girls are not all about marriage. They're all about money.
Yeah.
Cash. What was
Cash
it?
money.
This money. How does
Cash money.
Cardi B says it?
Cash money. All right, guys. I think that's about it. I got some editing to do.
Yeah.
We gotta cut this thing short. So we are out of here. Love you guys so much, citizens of the world. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for contributing to this conversation. This is not about Yuri Bruce. It's about everybody. It's about citizens of the world.
Thank you for watching, guys, and supporting our live every Sunday at 6 p.m. We really appreciate
Mountain
it.
Standard Time.
Yeah, MST Mountain Standard Time. That's new to me. That's only in the U.S.
Yeah, and make sure that
all
you
kinds of time zone in
like,
one country.
subscribe this channel if you're watching it. If you want to join us, we're on every week, Sunday, Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. So you can contribute to this conversation that we're having here. And make sure you turn on post notifications so you can catch us when we do random events, which we do a lot. So that is about
Thumbs up for this video and subscribe in our YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed yet.
See you guys later.
And wait. I want to apologize for accusing my husband of saying that he didn't give me flowers because I think he did. I just forgot, and we had no place for the flowers. So I'm sorry, baby. And yeah, bring your wife flowers when you meet them in the airport. Mm.